Every single time that you transcend into a higher level in life, your old self will try to pull you back. He will call you so you can come back to that version of yourself that you was. But the worst thing you can do is to answer that call. Because I want you to think about that goal that you have. That goal that ignites a fire in you when you think about it. Think about that thing that you want with all your soul, with all your heart, with all your mind. Let's say that goal is right here. And right now you are here. So you need to walk all this path to get to your goal, to achieve that. But if you start walking the path and then you answer the call of your old self, you will walk and then you go backwards. And then you walk again and you go backwards. And you're going to be like this for your whole fucking life. So I want you to ask yourself this question right now. How bad do you really want to achieve that? If the answer is way too much, then you need to walk the path without looking back. Because that's the only way to achieve your goals. I want you to think about a person who's going to race a marathon. And he needs to run 42 kilometers. What will happen if that person runs 1 kilometer and then he goes backward another? And then he runs 2 kilometers and then he goes backward 3. When is he going to reach the goal? Never. Never. So it's the same with you. If you overcome your bad habits, if you overcome your drug addiction, if you overcome your porn addiction, your alcoholism, if you overcome all those things, but then your old self start calling you back, and you answer and you go back to those habits, you will run 3 kilometers, but then you're going to go backwards 5. And you're just going to be like a feather in the wind, going from here to there, going back and forth. You need to do the change now and never look back, because it's either you want it or you don't. There's no middle point. There's no I want it today but tomorrow I don't. It's either you want your goal or you don't. And let me tell you something. It's going to be hard. It's going to be fucking hard. When you feel that anxiety of smoking weed again, or when you feel that pleasure of jerking off again, because you want to feel that dopamine hit of having an orgasm, or when you look a cigarette in front of you and you want that dopamine hit in your brain of inhaling that nicotine. I know it's fucking hard. But what's harder? To resist that temptation, or to die without achieving your goals? I want you to think about that right now. What's harder? Imagine being in your graveyard without achieving your goal, that goal that ignites a fire inside of you. Imagine dying without achieving that, without feeling how it feels to be in that position, how it feels to live that life that you want. What's harder? Resisting an emotion, or dying without leaving a legacy, without achieving your real purpose, without making your family proud, without making your loved ones proud? What's harder? Be a fucking man and resist the temptation. It's Temptation is just an emotion. If you resist it, it's going to go away. Temptation is just the devil trying to get between you and God, between you and your purpose. Because let me tell you something, when you start chasing your purpose, you will start getting closer to God, because God created you with a purpose. God sent you to this world with a purpose. So when you start working on that, you will start getting closer to God. That's why the devil keeps calling you, because he wants to frustrate your plan. He wants to frustrate your legacy, your purpose, because he doesn't want you to achieve what God sent you to do in this world. That's the devil's work. So you need to learn how to overcome that. Ask God for strength. When you feel that temptation, get on your knees and pray. Ask God for strength and He will give it to you. Ask God to create the man that you was meant to be. And He will do it. You just have to have faith. So when you feel that temptation, I'm telling you, it's going to be hard. But don't give in. Because if you do so, you're never going to achieve anything in life. You're meant for more than smoking. You're meant for more than chasing momentary pleasure, than chasing a feeling. You're a man. You need to be focused on your purpose, focused on your mission, focused on becoming great. Look in the mirror and repeat yourself who you are. Repeat yourself that you are a man and that you are not emotion driven, you're purpose driven. Get that in your mind, because your thoughts will determine your habits, and your habits will determine your future. So I want you to engrave all this information in your brain and repeat this video over and over and over again until you stop going back to your old self, until you stop answering the calls from the devil, because that's the devil trying to take your soul. Are you going to let him win? Or are you going to stand still like a God's warrior and fight for your purpose and fight for what God created you? That's what a man should do. That's what you should be doing. Also, when you feel that temptation of jerking off, of smoking, of drinking, of having sex, when you feel that temptation, you need to transcend it, because that temptation is energy. And it's strong energy. And energy cannot be destroyed, but it can be transcended. So when you feel that temptation, you need to transcend that energy into your purpose. If your purpose is building a great physique, then go hit the gym. Grab that energy and transcend it into the actions and the habits that will create the man that you need to be. Because life is not about the goals. It's about the person that you are. If you become the man that is good enough to achieve your goals, you will achieve them. But if you don't become that man, it doesn't matter how hard you work, how many businesses you start, how many side hustles you have, you will not achieve your goals until you become the man that is good enough to achieve them. So transcend that energy into becoming that man and never look back. Never answer the call from the devil. I know that the devil whispers in your ear, remember how good it was. Remember how good you felt when you had sex with that girl. Remember how good you felt when you smoked those cigarettes. Remember how good you felt when you watched porn. Because he's trying to sell you your old self by painting you the good things, the pleasure that you felt, the emotions that you felt in that moment. So he will try to sell you that shit, but in that moment you need to remember yourself, who the fuck you are, and immediately transcend that energy into becoming the man that is good enough to achieve those goals. So now you know what to do. I want you to wake up and change your life, because that's my mission, that's my purpose in this world. If you want to actually change your life, send me a DM through Instagram with the word change. And I will help you transcend all those bad habits that you're dealing with right now, that you're trying to overcome, so you can become the man that is good enough to achieve whatever goal it is that you have, that you want to achieve. There is no more days to waste. How long are you going to wait? The clock is ticking. One day you're going to be in your graveyard. And the worst thing you can do is to die without achieving your real purpose.